S12.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. For prayer, Mr. Chauvin. Amen. Okay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Linda Goldman, Melissa Pisani,
Present.
Kelly Basin Jr., Lanty Bay, Brian Bartholomew, Eugene Gary.
Okay, we have quorum. We have Representative Chief of Police, and first of all, I want to welcome the public, especially the ones out trying. You two got it on right now. Town website. These girls are working pretty quick. People continue doing that, but welcome on everyone out there, residents, and friends of Grand Isle. Apologize for the weather we had. We had canceled the last week. We got a full agenda. Have patience, and like I said, we're gonna continue on the progress. So with that, I'd like to look at item 4. The minutes for approval. We have no questions. So go ahead and move on that. We have a councilman. Moved by Brian. Second by Lane. Aye. Any opposed, so be it. All right. Let's move on to item 5A. So, an ordinance providing subdivision process for Grand Isle. This is something that we worked on. The audience out there, we've been working on for myself. Quite a few meetings back to Louisiana Association, and we'll be blown to. We got attorneys there, and our attorneys. We also have working through an engineer that we're gonna hire to make sure that continue and move forward with the new laws that we're gonna pass tonight, or any improvements that we have when it comes to building codes and especially subdivisions, stuff like that. Again, tonight is eligible. You see the copies. We have some, the lawyers got back together to get a few changes. And, you notice you got an email today that, Chip, our attorney said everything looks good. And I think this is gonna be a benefit for all the people. Ronnie's not here tonight. Bill and Inspector Nora. Ronnie's wife, a little surgery done today, but as soon as we pass this tonight, I'm gonna tell the board, tell all the people out there that everything that we had on hold, continue forward. We'll have an engineer looking at things, to answer questions, to make sure that we follow the orders that we adopt. We appreciate working with everybody to try to update our rules and regulations. And we went with, like I said, with the state, LMA, with the attorneys to make sure they went through it. It was a lot of work. Cost us a few dollars to put this together, but I think it's going to benefit well. Anybody apply for permits, that we're going to have an orderly process. We have an engineer in-house that can look at what's the next step for the customer, what we have to do together to move forward and to come back and answer the council. That we make sure that everything's legit. We make sure that everybody gets the permits, whatever holdups. Our engineer will be talking with the individuals where they have to go next. So if you have any questions, again, this is ready for adoptions. Dan, if you want to go ahead and just read the top of it.
An ordinance providing the subdivision approval process within Grand Isle. Whereas the health, safety, and general welfare and orderly development of Grand Isle require a clear process for approval of subdivisions and whereas the interest of landowners, developers, citizens, and visitors requires that the current procedures for subdivision approval be clarified, updated, and reviewed for consistency with applicable state statutes, including RS 33, 101.1, RS 33, 117, and RS 33, 505.1. C1 and whereas the desired clarification and updating should address the role of mayor, town council, town planning commission, town building official, and town engineer, and whereas the desired clarification and updating may proceed in such stages as the mayor and town council may deem appropriate, starting with the adoption of this ordinance and its attached Grand Isle subdivision approval process checklist, which checklist thereafter may be amended by resolution of the town council. Now therefore be ordained by the town council of the town of Grand Isle, Jackson Parish, Louisiana, that the following sections of the Grand Isle Code of Ordinances, Chapter 82 subdivision and Chapter 70 planning are hereby amended.
Okay. And eligible tonight, we can continue moving forward just so we start work tomorrow on this. We have several permits on hold. So, I'm sorry, sir, go ahead, sir. Yes, sir, come state your name and address, 3 minutes. Yes, sir, thank you.
Aaron Marino, 14 Sandy.
With the speaker.
14 Sandy Drive. Grand Isle.
Okay.
Okay. Todd Thurn and I have been working with Neil.
Mm-hmm.
We had some changes. He considered some of them, adopted some, and some he didn't, which is fine. But we found, and I think you guys ladies have gotten an email from Todd showing that there is a issue. One provision. First of all, the attached draft was changed from the initial publicized, circulated permit checklist. Now includes language in item 17 in the checklist. Looks to be in conflict with chapter 18 of the code. Perhaps it was not intended, because Neil told us that he was working on this one section of the code, really not looking at some of the other sections that may be either in conflict or not in conflict. But we found one section that it was in conflict. Perhaps it was not intended, not corrected, will result at least in confusion between chapter 18 rule and chapter 82. This can all be solved by adding a portion of one sentence permit checklist, item 17, the checklist is which on the back of the ordinance, could be corrected by simply adding, quote, as required by chapter 18, any other applicable chapters of the Code of Ordinances. Put at the end of the checklist number 17 solves it. Right now, there is a conflict. So we ask that the council simply consider this one short amendment.
Consider it, but
Well, he did look, yeah. You have it right here? Chip. Yes. In other words, you're looking at, in other words, we hired someone to write on the ordinance. They asked us to pass this draft. Yeah, well, I think, Bonnie, y'all talked to Chip today? I mean, with the situation as drafted, he wanted us to adapt it?
Yes,
As drafted.
yes.
So again, I mean, we're starting, sir, being honest with you, and it's an honest mistake, and like I said,
it is.
yeah.
you have an approval from Chip that you do this?
Yes, yes.
That email?
That's what he told us this evening.
I
Go
sent
ahead.
it to y'all with the email too,
You sent it this.
this afternoon.
And gentlemen and ladies, this email that I was reading from was also sent to Neil. You know, we're not leaving Neil out of anything.
Oh, okay, I don't know nothing about, like I said, and listen, sir, being honest with you, we're trying our best to come in and start getting everything right, and that's why we hired this guy that represents all Louisiana municipalities, 306 towns, and that's what he does. So I appreciate that, you know, we all talking together and trying to put together. So again, once she called me this morning, she got with Chip, and Chip sent an email this evening, she told me, and said that as drafted as is, we wanted us to adopt it tonight.
Did your attorney check and consider this one amendment?
All I was told today, the engineer, they called John Plaisance, and Neil was talking, and then Chip had talked with them, and he reviewed it. That's all I was told, sir. And it,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
just wanted to bring it up.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you. Okay. That's what. Yeah. That's what Chip told. Chip told us today to go ahead and draft it like it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, that's. We still can, you know, look at it. Let them look at it, whatever. I mean, that's where we at right now. But that's again, I appreciate that might be their opinion, but we got Mr. Neal working for us, we got our engineer working for us, and we got Chip working for us. That's what I was told. Well, it's up to y'all. I'm just telling you, I got it right here. No. I mean, this is where we at with it. I mean, come a long way. You know, and this is what we put together. Well, that's. Well, I'm just telling you what Mr. Neal and John, our engineer, talked about. Go ahead, Joe.
Joe Chauvin, GIS Engineering. I'm not the engineer of record. I'm just the project manager. I suggest that we have contingent on legal review, what the discrepancy said, and have Chip have an opinion on it. And then if he agrees with the discrepancy, y'all still approve it, but on his review where it's all said and done. We usually do that in different municipalities. That would probably be the safest thing. We can look at it some more, but contingent on legal review is, yeah, he's going to send y'all something. Yes, I agree with this. Let's move forward. If there's a problem, we can always come back and pull it up.
And we got to work it out. That's fine. Okay. All right. So.
Thank y'all.
Okay. So let's.
You understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
If they
That'll work. Okay. All right. Again, we can go ahead and approve it. I want to just ordinance form. Need a motion and a second, and then roll call vote. Pete Besson, second by Brian Bartholomew. Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk. Whit? We adopted it with the stipulation. That's right.
Melissa Pisani,
Yes.
Kelly Bason,
Yes.
Lanty Vey, Brian Bartholomew, Eugene Gary.
Okay. Thank y'all so much. And sir, like I said, we're gonna work this out. We're gonna make this happen. You know, thank y'all so much. All right, let's move on to item 5B, an ordinance, amending ordinance 908, changing the day of the town meetings of the mayor and the town council of the town of Grand Isle, Jefferson Parish. Jan, you wanna go ahead?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 908, changing the day of the town meetings of the mayor and town council of the town of Grand Isle, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Whereas the town council desires to change the day of the town meetings to Wednesday, now therefore be it ordained by the town council in the town of Grand Isle, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, that the following section of the Grand Isle Code of Ordinances will read as follows. Regular meetings. All regular meetings of the mayor and town council shall be held in the Grand Isle Multiplex Center located at 3101 Louisiana Highway 1 in the town on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month beginning at 6 p.m.
Okay, this is eligible. Any questions? Not, we need a motion by one of the councilmen or councilwoman. Moved by Lanty Vey, second by, who's that? Eugene. Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Melissa Pisani,
Yes.
Kelly Bason,
Yes.
Lanty Vey, Brian Bartholomew, Eugene Gary.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, let's move on to 6A, Grand Isle Police Department, Ms. Linda Goldman.
This is the Grand Isle Police Department report, and it's dated from March 18th to April 23rd, 2021. We had a total of 406 call-outs. We had 103 citations, 72 for speeding, 3 for general speeding, 4 for parking in a bike lane, 2 for no seatbelt, 2 stop sign violation, 1 no parking sign, 3 no passing zone, 2 operator must be licensed, ordinance 1003, 7 driver must be licensed, 1 beach tag violation, 7 speeding in a school zone, 2 vehicle license required, 1 expired registration, 1 failure to register in Louisiana, 1 vehicle, 1 beach, Town of Grand Isle, section 90-46, 1 careless operation, 1 failure to obtain title. We had 6 golf cart UTV citations. We had 1 drug law violation, possession of marijuana. Summons and arrest, we had 2, illegal discharge of a firearm, and operating a vehicle when not physically, mentally capable. Arrest by Grand Isle, we had 2 domestic disturbances, 28 medical call-outs, 1 burglary, 2 domestic abuse battery. Traffic court fines, we had $10,595.38. Golf cart tags sold $36,000, and that $36,000 is for a month. I also gave you a copy of the beach access crossovers for golf carts and UTVs and for the walking crossovers. And all of that is the signs that they have there or the signs that they're lacking. And that's my report.
Okay. Okay. And Randy, I appreciate it if you can get with Chris so we can move on this. Okay. All right. Any questions for Linda? Anybody in the public? Linda, great job. Thank you all so much. Thank you. All right. Let's move on to item. Engineers Joe Chauvin, Grand Isle Shipyard. Should have a copy of it.
Thank you, Mayor Council. Joe Chauvin, GIS Engineering. First update is the FEMA updates. PW 56 That project was obligated in amount of $153,000 and some change. We already received a payment of $36,000, and Ms. Bonnie has been notified by FEMA that y'all will get another payment for $117,000. This was from some tropical storm Nate work. Mayor Commodore pushed us hard. We were fired back at FEMA, going back and forth about permits, everything during an emergency, and they agreed with what we had in our documentation. We're receiving that shortly. Next update is the 2020 hurricane season. I want to thank Ms. Bonnie and Ms. Pat and Ms. Jan. They've been really hacking away at this. The Zeta one, we have been pushing Zeta hard. They have approved a bunch of work that we already did, so we're waiting to get that project obligated. So Ms. Bonnie and Ms. Pat are both aware. Anything we spent on that, we're going to start going and get some cancel checks so we can get that documentation so we can get refunded. Also, the debris pickup. I know that was a question that we had David access to look into it really, really hard. Broke down the numbers. Ms. Bonnie got all that information from Jefferson Parish. They gave me 72 hours to fill it out. I filled it out in 3. We turned it over that night to them. So they agreed to it, and so we're waiting to get that process rolling as well. We have Hurricane Delta and Hurricane Laura. It was force account labor and force account equipment. We're going back through that. That's for our crews, putting out the pumps for the police department patrolling. So we're waiting to see where we're at on that. Linda, if we go through another hurricane again, we have to document just for your knowledge so we can get reimbursed from FEMA when it becomes a disaster. Newest disaster we have is the winter storm that happened 2 Tuesdays ago, we'll call it. They're calling it. We're working on those budgetary numbers. Whatever we spend on that, please separate that so we can keep track of it. Meeting with GOSEP, I'll probably call Ms. Marcella tomorrow and see where we're at with that, if that project's going to get fully funded, and so we can start that process. This is a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, and again, it's again, I want to thank Bonnie and Jan and Joe and Miss Marcel. They stayed, and Pat, and they stayed on the phone for a couple of 2-3 hours and going through even where, want to know where the lawnmower flooded, where it is flooded. Just kept on questioning back and forth. And thank God that, Miss Marcel is really helped us out a lot. Now she knows Grand Isle. She's been working several storms with us, and she knows what's going on. But in the meantime, we're doing the survey that we're working on right now is for the last little storm that we're still not qualified yet. Though the governor called it emergency, we're just making sure that we got our numbers right, and we don't know where we at with it as of now. So every little damage that we got, we're kind of putting a little note behind it. But I just want the public to know that we're dealing way back storms that we got damage from. So it's finally coming through. So every little thing that we can put up and explain to them how, they want to know where the lawnmower was, if you got pictures, if you got this and that, and it's really a process. But now working together with this team, it's amazing what they got done for us. So I want to thank y'all, and you councilmen and women, and you and people out there. It's a lot of work to convince FEMA to come in and get some money. I see this gentleman shaking his head, and he's with mosquito control, and he can tell you it's a lot of work, So, but they're doing fine. They really learned a lot with Mr. Marcel. And remember, there's people calling from different states that work for FEMA, questioning different things. Like what's a Kubota? I don't even know what a Kubota is. We have to explain what a Kubota is. And I'm not making fun, but after you explained it, yes, it worked for the police department. When they need the water, yes, it worked for us at the town, and it's worth so much dollars. But stuff like that, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, I want y'all to understand that, especially the councilmen and women, that anything you see that, that y'all see something in a storm, you see something broken, just make sure, like the baseball fields tore up. Hopefully we got all that rooting up, the signs that y'all really put together as a team to work for the kids. It's all gone. And we all seen that. And, we all agreed to put money up front. And like I said, we're going to try to get reimbursed. But you can see on this deal here that so long ago, Nate, that we just starting to get a few dollars in. I mean, they'd come back 3 months from now and want to start all over again. So it's a lot of work. So go ahead, Joe.
Any questions on FEMA? Hearing none, we'll go to the beach side, access for golf carts. Well, they had a lot of work done. I know I was on the phone with Brian, David, Pete, got on the phone call a couple of times. They're all complete. We have a list down here. We'll start with, which is Bridge Road, also known as Barnett Lane. We had GIS come and stake out the right-of-way. A guy went back and he found some documents. We have a 40-foot right-of-way right there, and he staked it out on the west side of the existing walkway. I gave Ms. Jane a copy of the right-of-way. I want Ms. Nora and Mr. Rodney to look at it. If they agree to it, we'll stamp it so we have a plat now of this area. So if y'all drive over there, y'all see some stakes with the orange flagging close to Mr. Buggy, and walkway. Then y'all see another road. That's the other right-of-way that Mayor Cominello always mentioned to us about. That we went stake that one out too, so we can kind of get an idea where our right-of-ways are at in that area. Jean Lafitte's done, cranberry, apple, grape, Picazzola, Coon, Rigo, Post, Oak, Cypress, and Humble Lane. I'll give y'all a cost breakdown. Right now, we spent roughly $4,489 in sand, $711 on limestone. That limestone went to Humble Lane because of the access over the culverts, shallowing out, and we had to put that there. 28 mats supplied by GIS. Well, Brad Prejean donated all those mats. So that's a savings that we didn't occur. We didn't know that was happening. $1,000 a mat. So going by it, we were short some mats. Some of the mats they had were used, so they wasn't in good shape. So Submar, we came up with 20 new concrete mats. I'd like to thank Submar because they gave us a great price on that. It was like $800 a mat. So I want to thank them for that. They said they have people with camps down here. They love the island. They want to help out too. Lowland Construction, we have a total of $54,700 of mat installation. Also, Lowland donated Bridge Road, which is Barnett, $5,300 for that access. Total cost for this project was $79,005.45. We have some invoices we have to pay. That would be Submar and Lowland. GIS for the sand and the stone. Need approval. So we good to go? I just want to get y'all the final price because
Ronnie, we did that,
I
right?
think we only approved.
you gave me an allowance of 50, then 69. Yeah, so we do have a little bit of money left over. So, but that's the final cost. If we don't need to approve it, Ms. Jan got the invoices, so we can go ahead and pay it.
Yeah, with the donation, we should be all right.
Didn't the grant I'll see? I will.
Any questions?
Yes, you said we have a little money left over. Number 7 was an original golf cart crossing near Blue Dolphin and Castaways. Is there a reason why we're not putting the matting on that one?
Dolphin.
I can tell you when the
That right there.
And now it's
basically told me
complete,
don't-
right?
you don't have-
So I'll give y'all a suggestion. So, or they were aware of it, but they were shocked that we moved when we were. For another contractor to come down, we're looking to spend a little bit more money than moving in and out of contractors. Yeah, you want to do it by yourself? We have that one. I would, give it to Chris again whenever he gets back.
We got some money left, being the Grand Isle Shipyard Brad donated. Y'all, I know all the councils y'all been looking around and like you brought up that one.
Yeah,
You
there's
noticed
2
that one?
businesses there, so.
So I would look at it again and get a good list and see how y'all want to narrow it down.
We put the sand, you put the sand over the matting to kind of keep it from being so shaky. Well, on the beach side already, it's all
Off the
broken.
bricks.
It's
It's off the little
So
fixture.
me and Brian
Yeah.
talked about
This
this.
has got a stockpile of sand, he said he can get back.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When we're looking at these projects, maybe look at making sure that the ones that we did put in place are sustainable and,
So me and
Right.
Brian, Mayor talked about this quite frequently. The money we get in revenue from the golf cart tags. Look, this is a beautiful project. This is what y'all were striving for. Get done. It got done. We have to have like a little maintenance program. Have to do that. So the more sand we put down, when it rains, water pack sand the best, that would be good. Yes, we have to fight Mother Nature with the wind. But it's that loose sand. Once it starts packing down, it's going to start shaping up. We're just going to have to maintain it. We just have to, just keep an eye on it. I guess twice a summer, come back and just do a little maintenance lift on it, which we all know that we would
So I
have
guess
to
the
do.
bottom line is why we all talking about it, means that Mr. Prezone donated to us. We need to come up with five or six more, and y'all, whatever y'all think, and just get it done. So,
Get another, ask, well,
yeah, what you think, Joe?
I'll get enough price. We'll probably have to buy some more mats.
Yeah.
I'll see if some more can give us same deal. They told me it was a one-time deal, so I'll work up the figures.
See what kind of money we got left and get with the contract and work it out, 'cause
we're already at.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me work on that. Just give me the 5 locations I'm gonna shoot for, and I'll come out and we're gonna measure them, make sure that we have a long enough mat because some of the levee was a little steep.
I went and picked the last one.
who's next?
So just like I said, if y'all don't mind, y'all come up with your list, get it to Ms. Jan or Ms. Bonnie, email it to me, I'll get it and I'll come out here and look at it and we'll pull
Maybe
measurements and.
y'all take a quick ride, and y'all know that y'all see people all over, business people. Y'all go to post office, and y'all know, like Melissa brought up that one, and Pete, I know you ride. Y'all get a quick list like y'all did the last time, and let's put our heads
I'd
together.
like to see, like, Melissa. our business.
Yeah.
Take care of our business
Yeah.
people.
Soon as y'all get
Fair
that
to
together,
everybody when they
yeah.
talk that we-
And again, y'all, come up with 4 or 5, whatever, and give it to Joe right away so we can get that done. Okay? It work with y'all?
Didn't a couple people, offer to pay for theirs?
Yeah, that's
I mean, are we getting any
Well,
calls?
let's find out. If people
That's
want
what I'm
to
asking, if we
donate,
get
yeah.
any calls.
Well,
you know?
tonight, they're watching this tonight. If any people out there that wants to donate for the right of way, we're still on board, instead of putting 4, we might be able to put 8. So again, we're shaking the little can, the little coffee can, but we appreciate everything. And we want to get this done. Like we said, it's May the 1st coming around the corner. I think we really can make it nice, because everywhere that you go, so far, everybody's been praising it, so it's been a good job. And we're ready to do it, the little money we got left. So again, any donations, we can continue on. Okay? So,
Right,
that'll work. What
couple
else you
more
got?
updates. Grand Island Vicinities Breakwater Project. This is coming from CPRA. I spoke to Mr. Rudy Semino. He's Director of Engineering for CPRA. Right now, they're analyzing 10 additional breakwaters. Okay?
Awesome.
They're analyzing. I don't want to get nobody.
Okay, I like this.
To start.
May not work.
So,
With
Yep.
me that day, I called you, called David.
That's right.
I wanted to get a drone system planted. Probably don't want to plant the pole.
Right.
Heat,
Yeah.
Plant the pole,
Yeah, he told me that.
So-
in the water.
we got it. So they recognize they have an issue, not an issue, a challenge, we'll call it. The first breakwater, the lead breakwater, we'll call behind Bridgeside, the one closest to the west, they have to extend.
Yeah.
They want to extend that breakwater to the jetty. Okay, so it's going to, close it in because that's a pocket right there where you get that strong southeast wind. That's where we're taking our licks at.
And all over the place. You go from, the mountain, Galveston. Down for a long way.
Straight up.
Hours go. So they put, And then they put a
T, like we talked
put a
about.
couple of teeth, like
that we
Save them a
originally
ton of money
wanted.
From studies. And studies are not
So-
working. I don't know who they studying, it's not working.
So they doing their analysis and they have different design features they put on. T-jetties, that's one of the analysis.
Yeah.
They talked
We,
about the staggering of the jetties.
We had
When
the
the-
wood jetty that
If
would
it
work.
don't work in 2 years,
And you remember, by the state park, they kept on adding and adding, going out. I remember Mr. Preston Collins. You remember Mr. Preston Collins had the little grocery store? We took the general and the colonel to get a Coke, and we went in a boat, and I said, please add on the rocks straight out. And when they first put the rocks, you remember it had the light, and that went away, they added about 500 feet. I said, as you add, it's gonna build up. I'm talking about way back, and we talked. Exactly.
when they had the wooden jetties, they worked.
And they surveyed, it went straight, they said, if we go any further out, we only got enough money to go 500, but every time they went 5 to 1,000 feet, it built up in that corner. And then they quit, like you said, they quit. So you either continue building that, and in the meantime, put some T's in between, and it's gonna build up. I mean, it's the way it is.
When I talked to them today, they run in different. See that, because
You can give them a month.
I know.
Save them money, quit running them.
So,
Yeah, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see it doesn't work.
like
Yeah.
I said, I just got the update from these guys, so
Why didn't make any money?
once
we
they,
done lost the whole bay
once
from
they
the,
complete this-
studying.
We could have been finished.
By the time they finished studying, they come back and the island was gone.
I will bring this to their attention tomorrow. I'll give them a call. So once they finish their analysis, they're gonna turn it over to the Corps engineers. But right now, it looks like they're gonna do 10 segments, which the number 1 extension counts as a segment. So you can actually see 9 breakwaters in the front. Right now, currently, they're gonna turn that analysis over to the Corps. That should be finished in July. And the Corps is going to have funding for 2 to 3 breakwaters. They have money left over to BA 102 project, so they're doing that. Last time we met with them, they're trying to get more funding up. It's coming up from the upper chain. Mayor Commodell has been very adamant, delegation of getting this more money put in that project.
You remember, as a team, we all told them, all of us that live here, even the people that non-residents have beautiful homes over here, summer homes. I mean, you can see rocks work. I mean, you don't need to be studying, just put them there and go with the flow. But in that corner, that's where it's got to be added on. You know, I mean, we've
While
been.
they speak of, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like to give a ask when the David and when I was down. White House. That place.
Yeah.
That island. That owns that property, fortunate enough to get rocks. Nobody's what the hell. Island.
Yeah.
From a regular North.
Yeah.
We take it very.
I'll reach out to
Well,
them.
Joe, I told you, the guy, when you was working on your boat, the little guy came, because remember they asked Chip Klein on the beach, they asked him we asked him to make a drone to pass, because what's happening by Bud Dill and all in the back, it's all heat up toward the Cheniere. So your guy flew it, and you remember when I called you, they were flying toward that island, Turn Island.
Yeah.
That's in the drone.
I'll make sure, and look, if I have to, I'll send them down here again and fly it. We can make another video, and we can get the video to Chip and them, and we'll show them the time lapse. That was the Reef project. I got it. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but I have those. Yeah, that was I think DNR project.
And you know, Brian, being you brought it up, a gentleman from Pennsylvania flew in from Grand Isle to Grand Isle yesterday. He's been trying to meet with me. I met with him this morning, and I showed him the map in my office of, we call it Island by the Crack. We named it Turn Island, right on the other side. We call it by the Crack in Cheniere, where all the current comes through. And that's where maybe this is doing it.
No, it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Huh? Maybe that one's on.
Test.
Hear me now? A gentleman came in my office today and he said he had a plastic filling in with dirt and sand and stuff like that, and I showed him the turn island in that area, but I said, really, the way the wind blows out the north, what we just had the other day, I don't know if that's gonna work. I said, but you're welcome to maybe take a ride, we'll show you, and maybe, he said, well, look, I meet with CPRA, and I told him that we had a meeting tonight, and I was gonna bring it up in my report, but he was looking at different places where he wants to try, and the reason why I brought that up is I showed him the ones about the fish, the ones with the holes that you just put, somebody just demonstrated that. But I don't think plastic's gonna hold, you know, unless you've got concrete in it or something, you know, like I told him. And I wasn't against it, I just said, bring your stuff, get with CPRA and get with us, and that's a perfect little place to maybe we could try and save that. But I said, in our areas, the way the wind blows, in north-south, you gotta have rocks. So I just wanna let you know the guy, Billy Nuggets had called me the other night, told me the guy was gonna come to Grand Isle. And I met with him for about an hour this morning, and he said he'll get back with us, so I told him I was gonna get with you, Joe, and maybe get with CPRA. And let's look at it. It might be something,
And look,
anything.
I'm not
If I'm
mad
not
at
mistaken-
CPRA, I just want,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
try
no, you're
different
concerned,
things.
Brian, yeah, and
Try
look,
something
and they don't take that as it's
Yeah.
complaining. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have the reef behind the crack, that island.
Well, the key thing, and Mr. Wellens here tonight, that's where the oyster reef's at.
Yeah, the
So-
oyster reef's in the front, right?
Yeah.
And on
No,
the
it's
north
on
side.
well, it's on this side.
But
It's
I'll check and I can find out. Actually, when I see Daniel Friday,
Yeah.
he was involved in that project.
What I'm saying is you got a bunch of oysters, the local fishermen, that whatever, you got all them cages there, and it's a win-win situation. And in the meantime, if that island goes, it changes all the current going underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
We don't know what's gonna happen. This is
Yeah.
what Vladimir told us a long time ago. Vladimir came in from Coastal Harbors,
Mm-hmm.
and DNR did a survey for $800,000. And they said that if this island disappears with that deep hole, I told him it had like 50 feet of water in it, 40, 50 feet of water in it, on the crack right there. And he was amazed, the man. And I said, this is where everything funnels out and it goes underneath the bridge. And I told him that that's something, and he said, and Vladimir, when he looked at all that, he said, Caminada Pass needs to be closed with some rocks. That was his drawings. But he said, that island is very important because it's a funnel. And once that goes, that'll change everything. That was brought up to our attention maybe 7, 8 years ago, you know. So DNR has a copy of that, and maybe we could get with, I'll get with Coastal Harbors.
Well, Vladimir, we do work with him.
He knows where it's
Yeah,
at.
yeah, so we can
He's
reach out
sharp.
to him. Well,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
last little update for that little area. All right, so they finished the planting. I was told that a camp owner was very irate about the planting and said this is a waste of money. He started pulling up plants. If we find somebody pulling up plants, we need to stop them. Because the contractor went back, and I was told they went back and replanted it. And I'm going to get the camp, the
Absolutely.
location, and I will give it to y'all personally. We cannot afford this. No matter what CPRA does, we have to have vegetation on the levee. Once that establishes, all the sand, the desert we see when it blows, that's going to lay it down. We see somebody destroying these plants or cutting up, we need to get on them and stop it right away. That's one of the main parts of this dune, vegetation on.
And Linda, I know you're watching all that, but anytime you get a call, whatever, make sure. And for you people, the residents and non-residents outside, please, if you see anybody that's happening, because without the grass on top of it, you heard Joe, it'll make a big difference. And we're just trying to keep our sand. You know, just cover it up with the grass and keep it up, because we're not going to tolerate nothing like that. In the meantime, we'll make sure that we find them, whatever we got to do. Because I'm telling you out there, that if you catch them, this ain't going to be good. All right, Joe?
All right, Danny, we have 3 quotes for your mulch that you requested. Mayor Commodore asked me to reach out to Jefferson Feed, which is their parish contractor. For 200 yards of mulch was $4,000 delivered to the island. That's not installed. That's a pine bark mulch for the playground. So just to give y'all an idea of what else they had out there, the double oak was roughly $7,000. That was for 180 yards. And it had Mitch's Landscaping, original quote for 200 yards, $11,600.
And Councilwoman Melissa, she's been after me way since the storm. And I told her, I said, if FEMA's going to reimburse us for that, I said, call Mr. Marcel and make sure, and I know how it works. And Joe said, we need 3 quotes. So what we did, we called Ricky Template's office with Brent, and he told us, he says, Mr. David, we got a contract with Jefferson Peach Store. And I said, whatever we got to do, and we gonna turn around and get a price. So once we got 3 prices, we'll pick the lowest price. According to Ms. Marcel, we get reimbursed for that. So you got to watch. Thank God we didn't get it last week because we'd have lost that. So Melissa, we don't know what Mother Nature will do.
So,
but I just want to tell you that that's how it works for us to get some money. We'll get reimbursed for that. So like that, once you get 3 quotes, that's. I don't want you to think that it took me so long, but that's why we had to work on it. And she was excited to help us out with it. Like that, we can, we can go ahead and move on that.
so
Yeah,
you're,
can I make a motion on purchase
The lowest bid.
the lowest bid?
Okay.
Okay.
Moved by Melissa, second
I'll second it.
by Brian. All in favor, signify.
Aye.
And I want y'all to understand out there. We went through 6 storms, and the last one I think is a better storm. I don't mean that, a worse storm. So everybody felt that. It caught all of us off guard. So just to say that by the time you do your paperwork and all, just think if we'd have put the mulch, and if you order a load like for the contractor to give 11,000, they come back years later. FEMA said if you got 3 prices, it'd probably been cheaper or whatever. But you do that, and it takes a little while. But now that we got a better connection with her, she knows the feeling of Grand Island. She's working closely with us, so it means a lot. So, like I said, it finally gonna get them in, and we did the right thing, and we're gonna get reimbursed. Because if you just buy it outright, they question you and they just put you on the back burner. I want you to understand that it's not that it took so long. It's just the way we tried to get the funding to get back to the town.
so just so a little bit more detail on the reimbursement. It's 75-25.
Exactly. We're getting ready to say
You're gonna put up 25%, and you get reimbursed
75.
So I'll contact them and let them know, and we just need a staging area where we can drop this at. Got to make sure we put it out, take care of all that, so we don't have no further questions from. Last part of my update is the pump stations. Orange Lane Pump Station, which is underneath Ames Engineering. They have all their final plans were submitted to Jefferson Parish on April 12th. They're waiting on comments. If no comments, the next step is having the bid documents together and waiting for funding. Right now, they received a letter of no objection from the Corps. They're still waiting for their letter and permit from LDNR. So that's in the final stages, Mr. Eldridge. I know this is important to you. You've been asking hot and heavy questions about it. We had them revise their map and show it's going to be at the corner of Orange Street, Orleans Avenue, because it just had a general location for it. But this is where the pump station will be at. Chickazola, which is under Principal Engineering. They're confirming their geotech stability on the slopes. They're designing a vinyl sheet pile just to hold in the material from caving in. Kyle Galloway, he's our head our pump stations. He's been talking with them back and forth. They're having a little problem with the property owners. I emailed Mr. Roy, the project manager, and told him I'll assist with this. I got with Ms. Bonnie and Ms. Nora to give us some information. We're going to get this to them so we can get this project wrapped up. We got to get all our pump stations ready to go once we have our funding for construction. Cypress and Landry's Hole, we're ready. Permits are secured. We're just waiting on funding. If you have any questions about the pump stations?
Any other question for Joe? Anybody in the public? All right, Joe, good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.
Okay. Let's move on to department heads. This is not here. Let's see. Okay, let's go on to Garden Club. Mr. Ronnie Sampe.
Mayor and Council, thank you. Just a quick report on the crossings, the signs that we have for the crossings. We have 9 crossings complete. We have 6 crossings that has some signs, but not complete. But we're working on those. We have all the signs, we have all the posts that we need. So we hit a little bit of a speed bump with this last little storm that we had. So we're gonna try to regroup, get that done. We also partnered up with Blue Boots Federation to try to maintain the life rings on the poles. For the storm that just hit us, there was 19 of them blown out. We replaced 9 units so far, and Blue Boots has gotten me enough to replace the rest. So we're just in a matter of putting the units together, and then we'll get out on the beach and finish putting them in. Any questions on that?
Question. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, on crossing number 3, there's a pedestrian mat that was taken out when we put in the cart crossing. And the mat was rolled up and put aside. And had a conversation with the mayor, and he asked if the garden club could reinstall that mat. So we put it back in the place where it was, which was right next to a cart crossing. The last storm that came through blew that mat against the sand fence. Now, before we could get to it to try to replace it, they came in and put grass in place. So the question to the council is, do you want us to salvage this mat and put it back in the same place? And if so, is it going to be okay if we covered that grass?
It's Joe. We can let Joe send an email if they have an issue with it, and if they don't, I don't see why we can't put it back.
Now, this is another option if you would like. For one of the crossings, we could use that mat on the levee and have a nice crossing around Magnolia in that area.
Is the matting you're talking about, is that what the Corps put in, the CPR?
Yeah. You remember I sent you a picture of the one that we had
And
installed?
I think Joe told you that they had to put it right back where it was, you remember?
Exactly.
So maybe Joe can answer that right now. I remember you and I called him and he said you can't move that?
Yeah, well, since it got blown out since this
No.
storm, it got blown out. It's up against the sand fence. And they came in and planted all the grass.
Oh, okay.
Joe, you understand? You
Now,
heard what they're
I
saying?
can go back.
Joe,
Yes.
that's what a double-story condo is,
Okay.
right?
The mat got blown away, and they would
The
never had a
mat-
chance to put it back, and then since then, they went plant the grass. Can they go plant it, put it back, even though the grass has been planted? Okay.
If you gotta take up some of the spread, just replant them somewhere else, I don't think that's an issue, but we can put it. And fencing by.
Yeah, I went and looked at that sand fencing, and we were getting ready to do that when we got interrupted with this little blow that we had. All right. Now, to put that thing back, I'm gonna have to cut a section with the post on it and put the post next to the crossing.
I would do. Trying to make.
Do you want it towards the beach, or you want it towards the levee side? If we do that, then we have to drill a hole on the levee. Okay, now that's good. That answers that. We can take care of that. Anything else? Anybody's got any questions or anything that we have to cover? Now, you were talking about having some more signs to put out.
Like you can meet with them and go over them sign lists to make sure we're not double ordering stuff.
I think we have enough signs to do 15 crossings.
Okay. Look at that, because she got them all listed.
Okay. And some of these that they have listed, we already have, we put some signs up, but we didn't put them all up.
She's got
So-
what's on, she's got what's there and which ones don't have
Yeah.
none. She's got it pretty good detail.
Yeah. And we were getting ready to do the signs by the highway, and we got interrupted again, and we don't have any markings for us to put those signs by the highway, for the utility lines.
I have to call again, make another phone call.
So if we can get them to mark the utility lines, we can put all the signs in. We have a group of people that are working together. There's 6 of us in the garden club that are working, and we're using Chuck's tractor. And we have an auger that was donated by Lynn and her group. And we can put them all up in one day, but we need to have the utilities marked. So we're ready to roll. If you have any other questions or anything, let me know. And if anyone would contact me, if there's something that we need to do, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
So again, Jan, if you don't mind, we gotta get with Tyler to make sure that Turco mark the utilities for you before you plant.
What's that now?
You wanted to mark the utilities, you said, huh?
The utilities, yeah.
Right. Okay, whenever you're ready, we just we'll get with Tyler and get with Turco. Give him a call.
Now, we'll most probably have to order some more signs if we're gonna put up some additional crossings, because I think we had gotten enough signs for 16.
Just
I
keep
can
on
get
putting
with
them
you-
up.
I can get with you on that.
As you run loads, give us a number so we can keep on ordering, because
Yep.
once
Okay.
they find 4 or 5 more streets, we're gonna roll with that, you know?
Yep.
Okay, okay, we'll do that.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. All right, let's move on to PA Commission Boards. Mr. Weldon Danos, Director of Grand Isle Port Commission.
Good evening, Mayor Cominell, members of the Town Council, members of the general public. Weldon Danos with the Grand Isle Port Commission. Tonight I would like to give an update on 2 key activities. The first key activity is the Bayou Rigu dredging project. On March 29th, we met with parish and state representatives at the Jefferson Parish Courthouse. Myself, our professional consultant, and Mayor Cominell joined us. The whole purpose of that meeting was to educate our representatives on the Grand Isle Port Commission and also our priority projects. That meeting was very well received, and the representatives indicated that they would support us fully. Letters requesting funds for dredging were sent to the United States Army Corps of Engineers from several functions. First, from the Grand Isle Port Commission, from our parish and state representatives, from A-Port, and from MSRC, our Marine Spill Response Corporation. We also sent a letter requesting funds for dredging to Congressman Steve Scalise. In addition to this, the Jefferson Parish Council adopted a resolution, and that was also sent to the United States Army Corps of Engineers and to several representatives in Washington. So with all of this effort, I think we have some momentum building. As I've communicated before, the bayou has not been dredged in 11 years. We have some shoaling, 5 to 7 foot deep. So hopefully with all of this communication to the Army Corps of Engineers, they will put us up at the top of the list for their priority to dredge that bayou. The second activity I wanted to update everyone on was the Wake Low, or depression weather event that occurred on April 13th. As some of you have mentioned tonight, that was a pretty serious weather event. We also suffered damage to several of our Port Commission facilities. A couple of days after that event, we did declare an emergency. We put together a state of emergency declaration. That was sent to GOSEP, Jefferson Parish Operations, and Jefferson Parish Emergency Operations. We did notify FEMA of this event. We had already been working with FEMA on the Hurricane Zeta Public Assistance Grant, and now we have this event which puts more damage on top of that. I did communicate with all of the state and parish representatives the damage that we did incur on all of our facilities, plus sent them photos of all the damage. We are in the process of doing a damage assessment to both the commercial dock and handicap fishing pier areas. The commercial dock, we sustained damage from the high water and winds. We had a couple of pilings that were pulled out of the ground. We had bulkhead separation. We had a couple of buildings that were tilted over. Our handicap fishing pier, the water rose so high that it removed the walkway boards. So at this point in time, we're pulling all that damage assessment together. The handicap fishing pier we have closed because it is a safety hazard at this point in time, but we hope to have that repaired within the next couple of days. So those are the two key activities for the Grand Isle Port Commission. Are there any questions or comments?
Any questions from the public? Question from the board? Good job, Mr. Weldon. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to 7A. This is an introduction. We're supposed to do that last meeting, but due to the storms. Jan, you want to go ahead and address this ordinance? Introduction?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 880, Article 2, Trees, Division 2, Protection of Native Trees and Existing Oaks, Retention generally, whereas the existing ordinance relating to native trees needed updating, whereas palms be removed from the native tree and correction of spelling Red Bay to Red Bay. Reb.
Again, this is just the councilmen and councilwomen got together and they kind of changed things a little bit for the vegetation of different trees, palm trees. Again, this is just a new discussion, just introduction tonight. So if you need a copy or whatever, we make sure that and I want to compliment the councilwomen and councilmen that put this together. They worked hard to try to make sure that protect all our good trees and some of them that we think that we can work with to help the people that want to build around them in the whole 9 yards. But again, it's just introduction.
Yeah, and I want to make a comment just
Yes,
real
ma'am.
quick, and I want to thank the Garden Club and Miss Jean Landry with the Nature Conservatory who helped us work on this as well.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
because I know y'all worked hard on that. Thank you. Okay, again, that's introduction. All right, next one is item 8, resolution. This is the expression of opposition to the Mid-Barry Terrace Settlement Diversion Project. Tonight, I'm asking the council to go ahead and just table this because Chip Klein said they extended the public comments until June the 3rd, I think, Jan, somewhere around there. What is it, Weldon?
I think it's June 3rd.
Yeah, because I know Weldon's been working with the Port Commission. What's happening is we're going to go ahead. They want to come to the next council meeting, and we're going to invite the fishermen and anybody to come to the meeting on May the 12th, and they want to give a chance to explain what the diversion is going to do. Our main concern is what's going to happen to Grand Isle, and especially to the fishing industry and our waters and stuff like that. So I told Chip Klein that we had no problem to table that, if y'all don't mind, so we can listen to the public to come in. But
And
we're
what's
ready.
the next meeting?
Huh?
When
It's
is
May
it?
the 12th.
May 12th.
Right, Jan? That was verified again today, right? I think.
So anybody listening out there, if y'all got any concerns of us losing our way of life with fishermen and
Yep.
our seafood, anything that pertains to us with the salt water, it's going to really affect us. So really, really need some people here at this next meeting to help us support the opposition.
Right, so again, like I said, we want you to be here, and they want to do a little presentation, which we find. Come on through, but like I said, we need all the support we can to make sure that we listen to pros and cons. And like I said, like Brian said, and we got our fishing industry we got to keep an eye on, so make sure that we all work together. So if y'all don't have a problem, we'll go ahead and table that. Joint motion, all in favor, signify.
Aye.
So be it, thank you. All right, 9A, letter request. Madam Clerk, would you go ahead and start with 9A, please?
The request in the letter of no objection for the Town of Grand Isle Council at their regular council meeting for work proposed by Brett Morrow under joint permit application P 202000615, Brett Morrow.
Okay. This is something that Rodney and all put together, and being that we passed this ordinance, like I said, it's just an introduction for him to to make sure he follows the rules. According to Rodney's not to explain that, but just to do an installation of a boat shed on Susie Street. We all looked at that. And again, that's got to go through all of
Make a motion.
Okay, moved by Brian, second by Eugene. All in favor, signify. So be it. Right, item B, Madam Clerk.
New Orleans Electrical Association is requesting a waiver of special events, license, and beer liquor permit fees. The event is being held at Ricky's Motel.
Okay, joint motion. Yes. They came here, electrical contractor, tell you a story about that. I was flying to Washington in 2011 on the Twin Towers. The night I was addressing them in New Orleans, and they wanted to come to Grand Isle, and I told them how we were ready for them to come into Grand Isle to bring their fishing team up down here on the island, and they got excited, and they've been on the island since the that night when I addressed them. I got on the plane the next morning. That's when the Twin Towers. That's when that happened. So I'll never forget that. That was something that ever since that day when we go to the rodeo, we talk about that, because that was the night before I was supposed to fly. I made an address, and they got excited. I think they were leaving Venice to come to Grand Isle. These guys got a good group, and they love it down here, So again,
Yeah, it's not that they sell and they just
yeah,
give it to
yeah,
their
and it's
members.
for a good cause. They're really good guys, and they got a good group. So a joint motion, all in favor? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Brian. You got
Nope,
your
I'm good.
joint? Okay, joint motion, all in favor. Thank you. All right, item C. 9C.
Grand Isle Rotary is asking for approval to use multiplex parking lot on May 30th, 2021 for a bake sale.
Okay, joint motion, all in favor, signify.
But I'd also like to make a request for May 2nd to have a barbecue chicken dinner also, and it's in the same request.
Okay,
Yep.
all in favor, signify.
Aye.
Okay. And like I said, I'll never forget 9/11. That's what I wanted to tell you. 9/11 was. Okay. All right. Next one is Grand Isle mosquito control proposal. 9D. Let's see where we at. Okay. I think we put it out to bid where we did it, and I think we had the opening. Bonnie, Madam Clerk, y'all had the openings, and then we I think a couple of y'all went, a couple of council, men and women, yeah. I think Lan and LG went. Open the bids. So, questions for that?
And we send it to the attorney for review, correct? And
Everything's good to go?
his recommendation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all ready to go. We just gotta bid on.
Make a motion that we go with mosquito control services.
I want to make an amendment to that motion, because I do think that, I did read over mosquito control services. The only concern that I have is that it is
Yeah.
the contract's till 2023. So, when we were originally looking at this, I don't think we set a specific timeline for how long we wanted to contract someone out. But talking to several other people in the community and other council members, I believe that we went with both of these companies already, for mosquito control. And
It might have been a typo because Steve told me it was supposed to be a 1-year contract.
okay, well, I just want to make sure that it's clarified that it's not it's a yearly thing that we're going to be voting on versus a commitment that we're
Yeah,
making
yeah.
to 3 years. And in the instance that we're not satisfied with the services, then we're locked into a 3-year contract.
Absolutely. Well, I'll make the motion that we go with mosquito control services for a 1-year contract.
Pete, I want to read something. I don't know if you read the attorney's, he said he reviewed the contracts, and he's recommending that we go with the lower bid. And I believe if we go with the lower bid, it's going to be the other contractor.
What?
But what we're looking
He's a
at,
lower bid.
Mosquito control?
No. I don't even know what was the other one.
BMG.
D&G is lower than mosquito control.
That's without larviciding.
If you put them both without larviciding.
Right here, it says total bid, Benny, 14,000
Yeah, but
a month.
you gotta read what they had looked in, it wasn't
Including the
apples for
larvicide.
apples.
Yeah, but they do the larvicide.
No,
That's
it's
for
extra,
additional
it's extra cost.
Oh, it shouldn't be,
Oh, well, we got some,
because they did the larvicide last time, and he didn't change nothing on the, contract.
okay.
Absolutely. Larviciding comes with, it's all.
Sir, if you don't mind, introduce your name. for the
I
record.
apologize. Yeah, my name's Sam Steins, 521 Drive, Metairie, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Regional Director for mosquito. Yep.
Can you talk
it-
closer to the mic? 'Cause-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would like to recreate what we did last time, which is a lot of larviciding surveillance for encephalitis as well as nuisance mosquitoes.
So that 13,988, that's including the larvicide.
Including larviciding, the aerial applications using the dibrome, which is the heavier chemical which you need on the island because of drift and those things. We rotate chemicals. We have a biologist that makes sure that all of our chemicals are efficacious. As well as last time we put someone on the island that was able to use a bobcat and actually throw some of those larvicide granules in those places on the other side of the levee water as well as in these fields. Yep, all that comes, it's a full IPM program.
So your contract that was proposed, is that a 3-year contract or a 1-year contract or?
You know, my boss didn't discuss that. 1 year is fine. You know, we don't have a lot of capital. Normally we go extended if we have to buy new items, but we have stuff that we purchased for last time. So we have the Bobcat, we have the trucks and the that goes along with that. So there's no need really to extend it far out. We can do.
Yeah, because Steve told me it was supposed to be a 1 year, I told him it was gonna be a 1 year contract, and he said no problem.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, moved by Pete, second by Brian, to go with the lowest bidder. That's including the larvicide. That's the question y'all brought up? Right, Lan?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion by Pete, second by Brian. All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Oh, okay, we have 4 yeas and 1 nay. Thank you. All
I
right,
couldn't make a count.
huh?
I couldn't make a counter motion. Said yes, Ms. LG?
All right. Let's move on to budgets, item, budget appropriation request. Dan, maybe Bonnie, y'all can, budget request for police department, revised budget. 9F, sorry. That's just a letter request to show y'all,
9E.
okay? All right, let's move on to, item 9G, approve letter of no objection to Mr. Thomas Stabler.
Excuse me, David,
Yes,
9E needs to be approved.
okay, wait a minute. Appropriation, oh, I didn't see that one, I skipped it, okay. All right, budget appropriation request, legal fees, general advertisement. Any questions? If not, we need to go ahead and adopt this. Motion approved. Moved by Land. Second by Melissa. All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm sorry, I skipped that. Okay, item 9F, like I said, this is, appropriation request, so. Bonnie, with your questions on that, I mean? Yeah. Okay. Board approve on that? All right, we need a motion on that? Have a motion?
And we changed, and we just, let me just make sure I'm understanding.
48, no?
And this is just for the budget that's gonna continue until July, correct?
Right, end of June.
I'll make a motion, to accept.
Moved by Brian, do we have a second? Second by Melissa, all in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So be it. All right? Got everything's in the corners, what the, yeah. Okay, item, 9G, now we're back to that. Okay, this one, is, wanna go ahead and read that, Jan?
Letter of no objection from Mr. Thomas DeSalvo on the joint permit application P 2021-0096 with the stipulation he continues to get all necessary permits needed from state and local agencies. Description, pilings to construct 2 boat slips and dredge material placement, 417 Louisiana Highway 1.
Okay, again, that's gonna fall in with the permit department. Joint motion on that? Joint's okay? All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, so be it. Thank you. Okay, 9G, okay, 10A, Chevron regarding Chevron emergency response. I know Jan's been talking to him. Jan, I met with him a couple of weeks ago, huh? 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
somewhere. These guys, fine gentlemen, came in and they represent, Galloway, Paul Galloway. They came in and they talked to me about the gas system, Chevron Gulf of Mexico. They coming in and they want to do a little demonstration. I told them they had to come front the board. And they're going to be in Caminada Pass from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be on a Monday. And they're just going to be, they picked Grand Isle because instead of going way in the middle between here and Lafitte, they just thought coming to, if something would happen, they want to practice and do a little survey work in that area. Not survey, just to practice in case they had something would happen. And I told them they had to come in front of y'all. And they were coming at night of the weather, you know. Again, that's Chevron 2021 emergency response exercise. So joint motion, all in favor, signify aye. Any opposed, so be it. Okay, now we get to the end. Item 11A is Melissa Pizzani. Any requests?
Yes. Hurricane season is approaching us, and I noticed the town of Grand Isle doesn't have an evacuation plan on our website or even a brochure for our visitors to pick up and look over. It may be a visitor's first time experiencing a storm, so I feel like we need to educate as much as possible. I know the Jefferson Parish has a brochure, but we need our own. If we could work together and write down our hurricane plan, I'm willing to make the flyer or brochure for our website. Also, while we're talking about hurricanes and evacuations, I would like to see that the street department also have an evacuation plan written out and be posted in the shop. Mr. Chris may not be around, and other town workers could help move vehicles or equipment. Don't lose anything first.
Okay.
I just feel that if I was a visitor, I know the locals are kind of picking up their own stuff, their places, and they don't know what to do. So they could also print one out. You know, they could go to our website and print it out themselves, so we don't have the cost of making a ton of brochures. But I just feel that we need.
Are you talking about the last storm that just hit us?
Any hurricanes. We just have a Jefferson Parish, like, general hurricane evacuation plan, but in reality, I feel that we need our own. A little different down here for hurricanes. We always evacuate several days beforehand.
Well, that's what we do when the storm really gets in the Caribbean. That's when I call y'all. Well, the first time we had a meeting here, we all got on a big screen, follow. But this one they just hit, there was no time to
you
do
can't
that.
prepare for that.
We lost vehicles, we lost boats and whatever, you know. But, yeah, I mean, we could put a little brochure, you know, tie it into the parish.
Right.
A little bit, give them some numbers to call and stuff. As far as the street department guys, They're scattered all night long. They're working all over the place with the pumps in that area.
beforehand, like moving this tractor to
Oh,
the
we
community
do that.
center and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But if you're busy, Mr. Chris is busy, one of us could go move a town vehicle, but we don't know because it's not posted.
I see you want something right. All right, we put that together. Okay. What else here?
That's it.
Okay. Mr. Pete?
Who's in charge while Chris is out?
Jody.
Jody?
Yeah.
Can you get him to go,
Sometimes it's called. Jody.
yeah, whoever. Can you get him tomorrow to go take the, by the walking track, one of the little, benches with the roof on it? I guess that little storm blew it down. It's in the back, kind of towards that little trailer RV park. I just seen it, I got a couple calls on it. Asked me if we can get
And
it
then when
cleared
we
off.
get Friday, when we get your baseball signs on the beach and all that, we're moving that by Mr. Savage camp. We're bringing all that over. But I'll do that.
Okay. Oh, and this is a thing for the, well, I guess Scoot ain't here. Linda, do y'all have any plans on that high water vehicle y'all have downstairs? Are y'all gonna be fixing it or? Yeah. Okay, because what we was wondering is if y'all would, if we could find a way like to donate it to the fire department and we'll get it fixed. Reason being is we had our mechanic here today and we took our good truck to go pull someone out for a rescue, and we're probably gonna get about a $10,000 bill because the rear end, some kind of water got in or whatever, and we just don't want to see no more bills like that. And if we had a high water vehicle, we could go take that instead. Okay. Okay, and then we'll get something next meeting. All right, we'll go from there. Thank you, Ms. Linda.
Thank you, Pete.
Mhm.
Ms. Land? Okay, thank you. Mr. Brian?
But I had got with you, and I just want to make the council, the rest of the council aware, if any one of y'all's been there, I think Melissa and Lane was there, and Elgene was there for the Easter egg hunt. Community center is really, really getting in the condition where we're going to be needing some repairs. From the outside, it looks great. Go right underneath it, it's really, really starting to deteriorate with the rust. The handrails are supports, and I just think we need to start looking at something, doing all involved or someone involved, that we need to start looking at this. I mean, if we wait too long, it's going to really, really come back and haunt us.
Okay, and we talked about it, and I think I told you this. We applied for some funding, the previous conference, councilman before, you remember, the school board was gonna give us a piece of property, was gonna build a little pavilion in that area. And at the same time, when we put the language, it says community center, we put that in case that didn't work out. So I was told by Capital Outlay, and the guy was, in fact, I introduced you the other night to the little guy that writes the papers. There's $17,000 to start the work on it. So what we gotta do is talking to Neil and Joe last week, is we're trying to figure out that we're gonna use it as the community center, but I have to come back to the board. And that's why I told you, like you bring it up tonight. I remember we tried getting a bid, just get an idea of all that beams that's all rusted there. I remember Joe Weir got a price one time years back, water blasting or something.
Yeah, I know it's going to be high, but we got to look at it this way. That's the
It's gotta be
structure of the
taken care of,
building.
right.
So it's got to be, something's got to be done.
Yeah.
The longer we wait,
So what's gonna
the more
happen?
it's deteriorating.
What's gonna happen is we have 17,000 approved in the first little go around. That means to start it. So what we're doing now is the blessing from y'all. We want to convert that to the community center funding. I can't do it without y'all approval. So we could address that tonight and saying just whatever you could get from the capital outlay in that language. It says community center or that little deal that we wanted to build by the school that we decided we didn't want to do. So that's 17,000 to start something, like a little survey or whatever we gotta do. And I could get back with them tomorrow. From the blessing for y'all, that means that whatever money comes to capital outlay, we spend it strictly on the repair. Remember, we changed the sides, we put a double roof, so we did all that.
It's gonna be nice and pretty, but it's gonna fall.
Yeah, exactly. And there's gotta be a cheaper way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, to do that. And it's terrible. I mean, I went to get a shot Friday.
It's
I'm
horrible.
looking at it. I called Neil and I said, "There's any way?" The way we wrote that language, there was no guarantees that we were gonna get this thing built there. And I said, "Let's put community center, you know, in that area." So that language still in there. So Representative Joe Ogeron and Senator Pat Connick, we could get back, especially like the guy you met the other night, that he's in charge of capital outlay stuff, and he said, whatever y'all need, Mr. David, get back with me. So with the blessing of y'all, maybe just a motion, and maybe to go ahead, Joe, and maybe we could look at that 17,000, but spend it for repairs for community center. Joint motion on that? Okay, that'll work. Right, he met him the other night. And that's the reason why we did that. We played, because now it took us 2 years, 3 years to get it in, and they threw a little piece at us for 17,000, which we could start something. But like I said, we'll get some numbers together. And listen.
The bathroom don't even work.
Yeah.
Downstairs. There's no
Oh,
bathroom.
it went through many storms. It went through every one of the storms. Yeah. That's why, yeah, we had to put the portalettes out there. I agree with you.
Brian went.
So we'll take care of that.
Okay.
Okay, what else you got, sir?
Next thing, I wanna see if, I know Rodney's not here. For our planning and zoning committee meetings, I'm getting a lot of phone calls. When's the meeting? We don't know when the meeting, we're not getting advertisement. Why we don't have a set date? And I'm gonna tell you what Rodney keeps telling me, and that's not acceptable. Or the people don't wanna, the commissioners don't wanna come to the meeting.
Right.
Well, you know what? We need to start holding them accountable. In our ordinance, and we gotta start following our ordinance, our ordinance states, if they miss 3 consecutive meetings, they need to be replaced. I mean, we need to start running it like a business. I mean, this is a serious building going on in Grand Isle. We need to have set dates for these meetings. They can't make the meeting, and they miss 2 or 3, we need to replace them.
Yeah,
It's
and
in our ordinance.
that's part of the game plan that we're going with, we're starting
And
tomorrow.
that way,
with the
people
engineers.
know when they got a project going on, the second, third day of each month, they're gonna know when the
And
meeting
you know,
is.
we only average maybe 4 meetings a year.
Yeah.
You know, because we try to put them together, you know, like, that's what we do.
Yeah, I
In the
mean,
meantime, now the construction, you got more people subdividing, like, thank God we passed this ordinance tonight. That's where we're gonna move
But I
things
think we
quickly.
need to have a set meeting. I mean,
Oh, it will be.
no
according
matter
to
if
John.
they're there or not,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing against the people that's on the board, but they need to start making our meetings,
Yeah.
because it's holding up projects for people in Grand
Yeah.
Isle. So let's work on that. Next thing, the lights at the new basketball park, they're not working. Some kids call me saying, they've been wanting to go play basketball. Where we at on that to getting them hooked up?
I don't know. Where we at with that, have to double
Oh,
check that.
Cheeky, I had mentioned it to Dean. I'll probably see him again tomorrow morning. I'll
Because
get with
usually,
him again.
we pay energy for that, so
Yeah.
we have to double check that, chief.
Okay, while we're on that topic, we had Jefferson Parish Recreational come down. Mr. Gary came down, did a walkthrough with me and Pete on all the parks. And like we talked earlier, our baseball park really took a lot of beating. It's gonna take a lot to get that back together. So the last time we had talked about getting a price for recoating cement at that park, getting it recoated, painted, set up like a basketball court. I got the bid in from, it's called Tennis Court Construction, and they go and they reseal the cement, put the lines, paint it like a real court, and it came back at, the bid came back at $8,200.
Is that the same one you're dealing with the parish?
Yes, that's for the parish.
A while
And
back?
That's what who they use for their parks and stuff like that, and that's the best price they can find for us. He did all the legwork for us, and that's resurfacing 113 by 56 feet. And that's pressure washing, priming, everything, the whole 9 yards. It's gonna be a complete park with whatever designs we wanna put in the middle, and they're gonna come do it. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion, because with us, well, let me back that up. I know we had approved $40,000 for the ball field, if y'all remember it back. Now that we got all this damage, 40,000 is not even gonna touch the damage we got. So I
Right.
say we just put a hold on that till we come up with a new program, let's go ahead and approve this $8,200 for these kids so to have a park to play at. I'll make a motion on that, unless y'all want to do a joint motion.
No, that's fine.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right,
Okay. 82 what?
$8,200.
$8,200. Okay, moved by Brian, second by Pete. All in favor, signify.
All right.
So remember, Bonnie, at 40,000, that was going, take it from there. All right, what else,
Let me
sir?
see what else I have. Parks. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Elgini.
I don't have nothing, David.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank y'all, especially the council and working with the chief and the deputies and the town employees. We scattered all over. We're asking y'all to have patience. Everybody's calling me and want their trash picked up. Remember, FEMA didn't come in yet. The parish is not coming in yet. We got one truck. We can't get the dumpsters fast enough. So have patience. I'm asking you out there to have patience. I got guys scattered all over. We all over the place, the island. So I went around the island this morning, last week, riding around and kind of evaluated. So we're doing our best. But we got new construction going out there. That's a whole different ballgame. You know, you got to be careful what you're doing. My man in the truck, our man in the truck, knows that if it's new construction, we're making sure that you got to get your own dumpster, especially, we just changed the roof, but they changed building a whole new camp, say like the fella. So it's things like that we're monitoring. And we just want you to know that it takes time. We got just only one trash truck. FEMA has not released anything, didn't tell us nothing, like Mr. Weldon said. We got some severe damage. We got trash all over the place. We even got, the levee board had to get 3 prices to clean the rocks. We gave enough time, and go take a ride in your boat today on the road. It's clean. The last storm cleaned it. But in the back of our minds, we know there's trash somewhere behind the rocks or in the front of the rocks. So we had to report back to FEMA that the rocks are clean. And Mother Nature did that. And so it's stuff like that that we've been through hell and back. Just have a little patience. It's going to take us a little time. Hopefully we can get some help. But once we get the green light, if we don't get the green light, we all over the place. So this one wants me to pick up there, that one wants me to pick, and I'm not talking about the councils, just individuals. But give us a little time. We know we got some concerns, and we're going to work in every part of the island to pick it up. But the key thing this morning, meet with my guys this morning, but it's the trouble, talking with Jody, is to get the dumpsters as quick, because they got trash all over, is to get the dumpsters coming back, fill them up. So it's going to cost us some money. We don't get no help. But we're doing the best we can, and that, I want you to keep an eye on that. And like I said, give us a little time. The big thing is, we got the extension for the hearing, June the 3rd. It's very important. We're asking you to come here, make sure that you're here May the 12th to speak your piece on the diversions. And I want to thank, working closely with Joe Ogeron and also Pat Connick, working with Ricky Templet, and working with Cynthia and the parish officials, constantly working, and the guys and the gals here, they can tell you they're constantly in touch with us, try to get some funding available. We're gonna get some funding from COVID. We don't know what the criteria is gonna be, how you can spend it, or what you can do with it. Even the parish don't know yet what we can do with it. But once that money comes around, we'll see what we can do to make some improvements. There's gonna be some funding coming around. It goes by populations. I think the figure we had was about right at $500,000. A little better than that somewhere, I'm not sure. But nobody got nothing yet. But just keep an eye open and see how we're going to open it. Nobody got how we can spend it yet. And I think, Bonnie, we've been working with FEMA, with stuff like that. But so far, the COVID stuff, that was just a number that Pat Connick had told us. And we have. Again, last week, the levee board signed an agreement for $1 million, I think it was a little over $1 million. Joe, what was it? 1.5 for capital outlay. That's for the levees in the back. Also for pump stations. Like I said, levees and pumps. We're going to be working closely with the town to put that together. That's gonna move pretty quick. We went ahead and we send it. When we send it, Jan, FedEx it to them Monday, Tuesday, or Friday last week. Yeah. So we send it right away to them, and then we'll probably be in Baton Rouge next week sometime. I'll be in Baton Rouge a couple of days just to see what's going on with this. We want to make sure that it's a priority, in which Pat and Joe's got it in, working closely with the capital outlay guy. Like I said, he was here this weekend. We seen him Saturday evening, and we talked to him, and he's all pumped up to make sure it's in. And the other thing is, working closely and making sure that summer's here. It's right here. Easter was early. You saw the crowd we had for Easter. It was unbelievable. People are coming. And I know the business people, they're ready. Everybody's ready. We didn't need that last little storm, but people know we're resilient. We're going to pick up our mess. And whatever the garden club needs, whatever the police department needs, and whatever the fire department needs, and the EMS, we got to be prepared because the crowds are coming, and make sure that, we're making sure that we're all working together on that. Other than that, I want to make sure that everybody has patience. Again, it's a lot of work. Got a crew that's scattered all over, and give us a little time. You can pick up. Remember, when you pick up your trash, look on top. I was aware of it yesterday. That putting the trash, they don't look on top, and the power line was low, and my man couldn't get there. So just look up and just realize where you put the trash. Some of them threw it on top of the fire hydrant. That'd have been major. They'd pull it up if they'd grab it with the bucket, top of the fire hydrant. So we got to look up and watch for the fire hydrants, watch your water meters, your gas meters. Just make sure you put your trash on the side. That makes a big difference. I got in touch with DOT. I want to thank Mr. Kelly Bason Sr. for 30 years, as long as we've been together, maybe almost 40 years. I just want to compliment him going out in the tractor, cleaning up with our town crew to clean the road for the last storm. To people coming in, there was a lot of trash. See when you came back and forth. I want to compliment him for jumping on the tractor, getting it clean, working with our town crew. Town crew through the pump stations and the whole 9 yards, made sure that we kept an eye on each other. And even the council, men and women, keeping in touch with each other. Make sure that, like Melissa said, bring up an emergency plan, get some brochures up to make sure to let them aware of what's going on. We could do that. Just when that happened last, and I know she wasn't talking about that one, came up fast. We lost a lot of vehicles, a lot of golf carts, it caught us all off guard. Again, April's right there, and like I said, May's right there, and it's going to be quick. Want to make sure that everybody's safe. Watch the currents by the rocks. Keep an eye on the levee. Anybody you see on top of the levees, you heard the police report. Get a ticket. Come pay it. What's going to happen? Again, we enjoy y'all out there, and have a good summer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got a call today from the Jefferson Parish Recreation. They didn't want to bother Chris. Can we send someone tomorrow to the Tarpon Rodeo Pavilion? They supposedly got some phone calls that they got some damage in the area. If we can get somebody to take some pictures, I ain't gonna be around.
Okay.
Whoever it is, just tell them to forward me the pictures. I got the guy's email address. You want to take a pictures of the pavilion if there's any damage underneath. He said supposedly got hanging lights.
Oh, okay.
Take the pictures of that. Take the pictures of the grass if it's high. He said because they was gonna wait to send people to come repair everything. But if we get these pictures and it, like they saying, they're gonna send people right away to come take care of it.
Okay.
So if you could reach out, get somebody to go
I think
run.
it was Ricky had called him this morning. It was about that the dirt that they dug out the ditches. Want to kind of level it a little bit.
Okay.
But he didn't say nothing. I can go look tomorrow.
Okay, just get with me tomorrow. I'll call you. And
Either I'll just call Gary.
you got Gary's number?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Call me
Yeah,
too.
if you don't mind, Pete, take some pictures, maybe.
Well, good. While you're calling Gary tomorrow, just tell him that we went ahead and approved that thing, and they can get that started for the basketball court.
Okay.
All right.
So you're gonna take
Thank
care of
you,
the
Pete.
pictures and all? Awesome. All right. If any no questions, we need a motion to adjourn. And we want to thank y'all out there. Thank y'all so much. Moved by Brian, second by Eugene. All in favor, second. We'll be it. I think I took it off. Hey, you been good over there? I never had a chance to go over there. Coming, yeah. Now that I got my second shot, I feel better.